Hey everyone, how's it going? It's the Clark Knight. Today we are going over a few tier lists. One being Pokemon movies, then going to be rating the whole first generation, and then just a legendary Pokemon tier list. I'll put timestamps in the comment section below if you're only interested in one of them, but let's get into it. Alright, so first up, here's my filled out tier list of the top Pokemon movies. As you can see, I haven't seen like half the list, or a little less. Some of these are on my list though. I want to see the Pokemon I Choose You movie, and then, what is it? This one, the Power of Us one, looks interesting as well. If you guys have seen any of these that you're like, oh, this would be a good one to take a watch, then feel free to let me know, because I like to I like to lay down with my Nintendo Switch. You can picture it now, like me. Oh, my camera. Okay, you can picture it now, me in bed, just kind of watching TV as I'm like shiny hunting or IV training. It's just nice to have something on in the background. All right, so going down our list, I'm gonna start with D. We're gonna work our way up. These Pokemon movies I've seen, I definitely don't remember them too well, but I saw them. That's all that matters. Moving up to the next, it's the Kira movie plus the Lucario one. Everyone loves the Lucario one, and I think it actually had a really cool setting and a really cool vibe to it, especially with the other protagonist with like the cool hat. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. But other than that, the Kira one was kind of weird with everyone talking, but it was still an alright movie in my opinion. But I think as we go up the list, we're going to see a theme of like the older movies are a bit better. B tier, I really liked the Latios Latios movie. It took place in Venice. That was a really cool setting for the Pokemon universe. Everything was really fun, animations, and then the evil team in it was pretty cool as well. Jirachi was actually tempted to go up into A tier out of all of these. I really liked just the circus and the Pokemon that were incorporated. No spoilers, I guess. It was a good time. It was a good time. Then Destiny Deoxys. Very cool movie because it took place in like this futuristic town. A few Pokemon that stood out in the movie were like Metagross, Munchlax. It really did a good job of capitalizing on some of the Gen 3 Pokemon that were really cool. Alright, then we get over into the A tier. Honestly, the Celebi movie was really close to S just because of the twist they had at the end of who Ash's friend actually was. I loved the evil Pokemon in that movie. Dude, the Scizor, the Tyranitar, the Houndoom. Dude, it fits so well. And then, like, the Celebi monster in it was pretty epic. It was a good movie. It was a really good movie. Pokemon 3, it really stood out as well. Like, from the first fight at the beginning when Ash was fighting the Donphan to the sad, heartened moments with the little girl and Entei, and then wrapping it home with like a bunch of cool fights throughout. The one that stood out to me the most was the one where Misty had an underwater fight with the girl like in a grown-up form. I thought that was like a really cool fight. Alright, then A tier, obviously, Pokemon movie. You don't get better. You don't get. It's a classy movie. It stands the test of time. And then you got after that the Lugia movie, the Pokemon 2000. I remember seeing that in theaters with my grandma and my brother, and it's just a really it just stands up. And I think even like a non-Pokemon fan would enjoy that movie. A lot of the themes get serious. It's everything that I wanted, and the aesthetic of the movie is just something that I hold on to. I love the 3 aisles. I love the scene of Ash crossing the ice river with his Pokemon. Even like the little melodies they're playing on the flute throughout the movie. It was just a really beautiful movie. Alright, so the next tier list is all of the first gen Pokemon. So I'm gonna make it like pretty easy and just go down the list. God tier, Snorlax, Pikachu, Gengar, Charizard, Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl is probably the one you'd be surprised on, but I just really like the design despite having Poliwag and Poliwrath in S tier. I think that's like my one sleeper pick that most people don't expect, but it's just a really fun Pokemon, and if you read the Pokemon Adventures manga, then it kind of elevates Poliwhirl in a way. Other than that, I really like the Gengar line. The Gengar line is fire. Caterpie is an S tier for sure. He's a derpy boy, but you know he made that anime. That second episode of the anime, oof, real nice. Other than that, you just have the basic like starters and everything. Just pretty run-of-the-mill stuff. A tier, a lot of what you'd expect. I do have Mewtwo and Mew in there, and same with the other legendaries. I like the legendaries from Gen 1, but they're not my favorite. A few sleeper Pokemon that made it into A tier. Executor, I love them. Venonat, the shiny just looks really nice, so I'm partial to it. It was tough kind of going through A, B, and C. It was more of a gut feeling since there's like 151 Pokemon, but this is roughly how I felt. Then scrolling down, looking at B and C tier. Yeah, there's not much that stands out to me. I really like the fossil Pokemon, but only Kabuto and Kabutops and Aerodactyl. I really didn't like Amistar and Ammonite that much. Ditto's okay for me. Not much else stands out here. It's, again, some of it's run-of-the-mill, but if you're curious, you can always pause the video and be like, oh, that's what Tom thinks of these Pokemon. These aren't in order by any way, too. Like, I definitely like the Voltorb line more than, like, the Geodude line. That would be a good example. And then going down to trash tier and D tier, let me explain. So, a lot of you might not like these Nido picks, but dude, Nidoran, female and male, like that was so confusing as a kid. Plus, like it's a good payoff, but like the beginning Pokemon just did not do it for me. No one likes Fearow and Spearow. Maybe that's because of the first episode of the anime, but I hated them. I don't like Golbat's design. I like Zubat's much better. Crobat's a solid Pokemon too. Just Golbat's no good. And then Jinx is absolute trash. I think that's collectively agreed on. Other Pokemon I didn't really like down here: Pidgey, Rattata, Tentacruel. Some of these like water Pokemon are kind of a miss with me. Rhyhorn is probably a controversial opinion, but I think the Nidoking, Nidoqueen lines and even Kangaskhan cover what we needed from Rhydon and Rhyhorn, but he is an OG, so I might, if I did the list again, I might bump him up to C or B. Alright, then we got our last tier list here. Going from the bottom, the least favorites, most of these are like kind of the goofier Pokemon or the really serious Pokemon. Like Hoopa, pretty goofy, Cosmog, pretty goofy. But the ones that look like Digimons, especially from like Sun and Moon, like not my thing. But on the plus side, a lot of these I do like I don't mind them. They're just like not my favorite whatsoever. Moving up the list into just above, between neutral and not my favorite, I'd have Keldeo line. You might be surprised to see these two boys down there, especially when I have all the Tornadus, Thundurus, Landorus line up here. I just didn't like those transformations. I really liked Landorus's, and maybe I'm partial because I was a Gen 5 competitive boy, but the other two just didn't do well for me, didn't kill it. I feel neutral, a little less than neutral about the Meltan line just because how they were introduced. It felt kind of random. I didn't really like Regigigas, even though I do like the Regi lines. Other than that, they were just Pokemon that I don't use a whole ton. Neutral, not much to say about these guys. They just like were like, they're okay. Don't love them, don't hate them. And then moving up the list, I'd say some of the most notable Pokemon on this would be Xerneas. Not many people would have him that high, but I was a huge Pokemon X fanboy, big fan. Darkrai, that's an obvious pick. I really like the Regis, the legendary birds. The rest of these just kind of like get grandfathered in because I really like the games. Other than that, my favorite Pokemon of all time, Suicune. Genesect is up here because I really like the card that he used to have. Here, give me 1 second. Okay, I thought I had my Genesect like box set for the TGC, but it's actually my Mega Alakazam one, so my bad. But I'll put it on the screen. I just really like the card that came with it. It was super fun, and it's a really cool design in general. The Genie Trio, huge fan from the 5th generation, just really liked battling that gen, and they were pretty much staples in the competitive meta. I like the designs too. I don't know why a lot of people hate on them. And then Celebi, mostly because of the movie. Lugia and Ho-Oh, because I love Gen 2. And then Mewtwo, just because he's an OG, and you gotta put some respect on Mewtwo. You gotta put some respect. Alright, that's all we got for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like these kind of videos, let me know. We're gonna be experimenting a lot on the channel. I might even bring some competitive movesets back. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.